Hey, good morning. It is Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, here, back with another NBA Prize Picks video for Friday. We got a 9-game slate on our hands. Yesterday was kind of a mixed bag. The early video was kind of rough, but the main video I knocked out about 4 hours before lock. We swept the board, hit all 4 of them. Russell over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He had 48. Booker over 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He had 42. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 21.5 points. He had 32. And Anthony Simons, even in a blowout, over 22.5 points, and he had 24. So we swept that board. Hopefully made some money yesterday. We're just going to get right back into it. But before that, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications when you don't want to upload these. That way you get the good lines. Hopefully it can make you some money. So with that, let's dive right into it. All right, as you can see, I have the NBA Prize Picks desktop up here. We'll go through some of the picks I found for this morning. And again, I'll do another video around lunchtime once we get some more plays up on the board. Big 9-game slate on our hands today. Again, we don't have a ton of plays on the board early like usual, but that doesn't mean we can't try to find some value in these. And I'll always like to get this video out early and quick so you can enjoy your coffee and maybe research these a little bit, play and fade them, or using part of your process. So got 6 here we're going to go over this morning. I couldn't decide on the last one, so we'll just throw both of them in there. The first one we're going to go at assist, and we're going to go DeJounte Murray over 9.5 assists. Now, anytime I'm going to get him under 10 assists, I'm just going to keep plugging him away. It just seems like he's almost automatic, right? He's hit this in 7 out of his last 10 games. Yes, Washington is ranked 8th in assists allowed, but they're not the same team, right? Since that trade deadline back on February 10th before the All-Star break and the 3 games before that, right? He's just going to continue to crush here. Washington, they don't have Porzingis. They shipped Dinwiddie out. It's basically Kuzma and KCP, which is pretty sad. So he should be able to get things going here. 225 over under. Spurs favored by 2. Like I said, he's went over this in 7 of his last 10 games. And the 2 of the 3 that he missed, he hit 9 assists. So anytime we're going to get DeJounte Murray at under double-digit assist, I'm going to jump on it each and every time. So the first one on the board, DeJounte Murray over 9.5 assists. Next one we're going to look at here, we're going to go over to the Miami game, and we're going to take Bam Adebayo over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, they're going up against New York. Yes, it's a slower pace, lower total, 211 over under. Miami favored by 5. And the defense with Miami, right, or the Knicks, they are ranked 8th in points allowed, 13th in rebounds allowed, 15th in assists allowed. But he's went over this number in 8 out of his last 10 games. With Lowry coming back, he's going to be facilitating there. Bam should have no problem in the paint here going up against the Knicks. Juice is a little bit on the over, not so much out there, maybe around minus 120 is what I'm seeing. The line's actually 31.5 on most books out there, so we're getting a full point lower. I think this should be closer to around 32, 33. Not my favorite Miami play. The next one is, but just looking at the numbers and everything, Bam kind of gets it done in a little bit of everything, right? He's never going to, he plays a ton of minutes, he's averaging 35 minutes a game over his last 5 games, basically over his last 10 games, about the same 35 minutes. And he gets it done in points and rebounds, assists. I just love that he gets it done here. So we're going to go Bam over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assist here. Next one we're going to look at, we're going to his running partner here. We're going to go to Jimmy Butler. Now, again, one of those things where, Tyler Hero should be back for this game. We know Kyle Lowry is back as well. Dedmon is going to be playing. Caleb Martin should play. The only really person they're out is still Oladipo and Markieff Morris. So they're basically back at full strength here, right? The one thing about Butler here, we're going to go the under on 5.5 assists with him. It's one of those situations, since Lowry has been back, Lowry came back in the fold on February the 3rd. And since then, Jimmy Butler has only went over once, and that was against Charlotte on February 17th. Only once and that game was in overtime. So, but before that, he's had 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3 assists. Since Lowry's in, he's just not looking to facilitate so much. I love taking his over assists when Lowry's out. When Lowry's in, and we're going to get the numbers that haven't come down enough, we're going to take the under here. Again, he hasn't hit this number but once in an overtime game against Charlotte, which is one of the worst teams in the league in terms of giving up assists. We're just going to keep riding the under with this as long as they're going to give us 5.5 or 6 assists, because as long as Lowry's playing, the ball's going to be in his hands. And having Hero come back, it's just going to be more guys out there handling the ball because, even though Hero can spot up shoot, he does like to have the ball in his hands to score as well. So, again, under 5.5 assists for Jimmy Butler. All right, next one we're going to look at, we're going to go over to that Washington game. And we're going to go Kyle Kuzma. And like I said, we're going to have no Porzingis in this game. Thomas Bryant is questionable as well. But Kuzma is going to have to do everything if these guys are going to stay remotely close here, right? And we're gonna lean on the over 20.5 points for Kyle Kuzma here. It's basically him and KCP. Since the trade, he's went over this mark in 3 of those 4 games. The one game he didn't was against Brooklyn, which I believe was a blowout because he only played 30 minutes. Before that, playing 35, 37, 38 minutes for Kyle Kuzma here. Here's the trade deadline was on the 10th. So if you can kind of look here, Sacramento, 22, 23, 26. So he's went over this in every game that's been competitive, and the shots have been there 14, 18, 27 against Indy. Massive amount of field goal shots there. So again, as long as this game stays close, which Vegas thinks it's going to do, it's Washington is only a 2-point dog and 225 over under. I like this bring back if you're looking for, DeJounte Murray, if you want to play like a power play and bring it back. Those are kind of fun to do. I do like that. So again, Kyle Kuzma over 28 points. As long as Porzingis is going to be out and they don't have any real scorers outside of Kuzma and KCP, I'm going to lean the over here. The next one we're going to look at here, again, is we're going to go to his running mate here. And this is the one that I kind of went back and forth with this one and the next pick. But we're going to take KCP over 13.5 points. Very similar situation that I mentioned with Kyle Kuzma. He's just going to have to play, right? Since that trade, he's played 29, 35, 34, and then 25 minutes against Brooklyn. I'm throwing that one out. But the shots have been there. 9, 15, and 18 in those 2 games against Detroit and Indy where he went over. And he's going to continue to shoot. I'm not a big Caldwell Pope fan. KCP's not one of my favorite players. But when you're just looking at volume and what he's going to have to do, he's going to have to shoot if they're going to stay close. So 13.5 points feels a little light to me with the volume of shots that he's going to have to take. So we're going to lean the over on that one and play that one for KCP. Then the other one, I was saying between the two that I didn't know exactly what I liked when it came to KCP or Plumlee. This is the other one I was looking at. Plumlee over 7.5 rebounds. Now I didn't know exactly the way I was going to go, so I figured I would just throw them both out here. Plumlee over 7.5 rebounds. He's done this, against Charlotte already this year, where he's put up 12 rebounds. Where he's put up 9 rebounds and 7 rebounds in the 2 games respectively. And that game he put up 7, he only had 27 minutes that game. But if we just looking over his last 5 games, he's went over that 4 out of his last 5 games. And he's went over an 8 out of his last 10. Like I said, since they brought over Montrezl Harrell, they've been playing side by side a lot as well. And, they got some big guys over there in Toronto that we should still see some decent Plumlee minutes, and he's been focusing more on rebounds than scoring. So we're going to keep relying on this. Again, pretty tight total here. 226 over under. Toronto favored by 2.5. Toronto is middle in the pack rebounding, 14th in the association of the rebounds allowed, and 28th in center defense. So I think we can ride this. Again, I don't know if I prefer the KCP over Plumlee, but again, I'm giving you 6 plays kind of here to look at. and just mix and match these, right? If I had to pick, my favorite one is probably Jimmy Butler under 5.5 assists. Then I would go DeJounte Murray over 9.5 assists. Then I would go Kyle Kuzma over 20.5 points. Then Bam at over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then the other two, we're going to go Plumlee over 7.5 rebounds and KCP over 13.5 points. Like I've always stated, mix and match these with 2 and 3 man power plays. If you want to play a 4 or 5 man power play or flex, play it at less money. Play more of your money on the 2 and 3 man power plays. Your bankroll will thank you, and you can continue to grind away a nice profit through the season. So with that, again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that like button on your way out, and enjoy your Friday. TGIF. See you on the flip side. Deuces.